ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोविस्तं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वल्पदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं गुरौ श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च। श्रीरूपं सागरजातं सहगणा रघुनाथं वितं तां सजीवं साधितं साधुतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखावितां हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता रमसे तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यश्च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे कृष्णा. Welcome to this Bhagavad Gita class on chapter number 3. I'm sharing my screen. Just a moment. So we have been discussing on chapter number 3, Karma Yoga. So here, text number 1 to 9, which we completed in last class, we focused majorly on Karma Yoga is better than Jnana Yoga, and hence practice Karma Yoga. So this is what we discussed last week. So here, um, this is important for us. Now, next important topic that we are now going to discuss is um, sloka number 10 to 16. If you're not qualified for Karma Yoga, practice
Prabhuji,
Karma
the
Kanda.
screen is not visible. Everything is
Okay,
black.
okay, so just a moment. Even now,
It doesn't seem like you're sharing.
okay. Probably now you are able to see.
E- It's still the same, Prabhuji. It's a
Yeah.
completely black screen.
Freeze, is it?
No, I
Okay,
can see your
fine.
cursor
So then,
moving, and also I'm seeing the taskbar at the bottom, but the content of that window is
okay.
not visible.
Even now it is not visible.
No, Prabhuji.
Okay, then I think I will just go to the shloka. It's fine. I think there's some problem. I need to.
Yes, this is
Yeah.
visible. Yes.
Okay. Okay. I think there is some issue in sharing the screen. Okay. So we have talked about shloka number 3.1 to 3.9, in which the main focus is that we have main focus is that we are even if you are good in even if you are good in Jnana Yoga, we must practice doing Karma Yoga. So that is the most important thing. So now, so it is like a spiral. So what we are looking at is a spiral that in between we have Karma Yoga. So if I see this, this is the center line, which is Karma Yoga, and it is a spiral. So we do keep doing good Karma Kanda activity, do sacrifices maybe for devtas, and then uh, climb up the yoga ladder and come to Jnana Yoga. Even if we are good in Jnana Yoga, we should practice Karma Yoga. So we should come to the center. So this is a spiral that we are talking about. So this is very, very important for us to understand. I think I'll just go back to the shloka. So let us now focus on what is this Karma Kanda practice all about? That is shloka number 3.11 to 3.16 onwards. till this band of slokas focus majorly on karma kanda. So let us now start with the shloka number 10. Um, so Sahayagna Praja Srishtva Purovacha Prajapati Anena Prasa Vishyadvam Eshova Ashta Ishta Kamaduk. Sahayagna. Sahayagna means um, in the beginning of creation, the Lord of all creatures sent forth generations of men and demigods along with sacrifices for Vishnu and blessed them by saying, be thou happy by this yagna, because its performance will bestow upon you everything desirable for living happily and achieving liberation. So this is what is told. So that means Sahayagna, along with sacrifices, Praja, Shrishta. So Arjuna is an advanced devotee. So we need to understand he is qualified for much higher levels of yoga practice. In this context, he is part of Lord's plan to bring out Bhagavad Gita. So in this case, Krishna is telling that even if Arjuna is qualified to perform jnana yoga, he should perform practice only karma yoga. So Krishna gives here three reasons for practice of karma yoga over jnana. One is one's own purification, prevent any kind of hypocrisy, and overall maintenance of body. So this we saw in the previous class. So this uh, so these are the three reasons. So there is a spiral progression which we saw in the yoga ladder. So if there's a progression. So here, if one is not qualified, even for even for jnana yoga, or if he is qualified for jnana yoga, then still he should practice only karma yoga. So this is the main focus of the shlokas that we are now discussing. So we should understand that though Arjuna is qualified for a much higher level, Krishna is now trying to discuss karma kanda because karma kanda will help us elevate, and then we have a better understanding of spiritual level, spiritual reality, and hence we can practice karma kanda better. So Prajapati in this shloka, if you see Prajapati has two connotations. Prajapati is Lord of sacrifice. So Sahayagna Prajashtritva Purovacha Prajapati. Prajapati here could refer to Lord Brahma, or if you see the purport, Srila Prabhupada is writing Lord of creatures as Vishnu. So we can reconcile this fact by saying that Lord Vishnu has provided all the ingredients for Lord Brahma for the creation. So, so that means what? The primary creation is done by Lord Vishnu. It is only the secondary creation which Lord Brahma is doing. Thus, Lord Brahma is a secondary creator. Further, we can also say that Lord Brahma is a Purusha avatar of Lord Vishnu in mode of passion. So we do not lose anything by taking it Prajapati as Brahma, or we do not demean Lord Brahma by telling Lord Vishnu as a Lord of creatures. There is very good synergy in whatever is written here. Thus, in the essence, the consequence is that everything is created for satisfaction of Vishnu, whether it is Lord Brahma's creation or anybody's creation, everything happens for satisfaction of Lord Vishnu. So here, the other word that we need to understand is Kamaduk. Kamaduk means it has a positive connotation. Krishna here is emphasizing the point that system of yajna is the right is there right from the beginning of the creation. So Sahayagna Prajashtva, so the creating generation, Purovacha Prajapati, who is creating? Lord Brahma is creating. Anena Prasa Anena Prasa Visyadvam. Be more and more prosperous. By this, whatever is granted, as along with sacrifices. Be prosperous with that, and this will fulfill all your desires. That is what it means. So when Lord creates, when there is a newly born baby, um, so the parents do proper preparation to receive the baby. So when Lord creates the universe, He takes care of the living entities who will populate the universe by right arrangement. So this arrangement system is called as yagna. So this yagna is described as Eshova Ashta Ishta Kama Dukkha. This yagna will take care of all our desires. Ashta Ishta Kama Dukkha. Let it be of all desirable things best over. So this yagna is going to fulfill all our desires. So Krishna is here talking about a system of cosmic cooperation among Supreme Lord, Devatas, and the humans. This is discussed in elaborate in next verses. In this verse, our main focus is that point that when Lord creates, it does not send living entities to wilderness. He is, if we take example of mother giving a birth to a child, we see that Supreme Lord makes awesome arrangement for the embryo to live within the mother's womb, and then at appropriate time it is delivered to the outside world. And as soon as the baby is delivered, the Supreme Lord makes provision for mother to feed the baby. uh, Provision for the mother to feed the baby through her milk. This arrangement is practically seen not only among human beings but in all species. The other species of life will have different kinds of food. Thus, we practically see that these newborn babies are provided with food with Lord's arrangement. So, in general, when we look at the universe, that's actually a very good shloka in Ishopanishad. ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. The personality of Godhead is perfect and complete, and because He is completely perfect, all emanations from Him, such as this phenomenal world, are perfectly equipped as complete wholes. Whatever is produced or the complete whole is also complete in itself. Because He is complete whole, even though so many complete units emanate from Him, He remains the complete balance. So the Lord creation is complete and perfect arrangement for the living entities to live in this universe. Now, if we see the non-human living beings who do not have any spiritual faculty developed, they do not have to live in a karmically responsible way. They largely act according to their instincts for sake of eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. In human life, we have this advanced spiritual consciousness. We have the freedom to choose. Therefore, in the context of eating, sleeping, mating, and defending, we have the capacity to regulate. By regulating this, we have the freedom to redirect our desires towards spiritual reality and ultimately towards Krishna. So that is very very important for us to understand, and this is the cosmic arrangement. To fulfill our desires, we need to do some sacrifice, and when we do that, our desires are getting fulfilled. So Krishna provides necessity to living beings, um, which includes human beings also. So human beings have to discharge their responsibilities. These responsibilities may be like taking care of the family, taking care of animal in their surroundings, serving our relationship among our friends and relatives. In addition to this, so this is an horizontal way, that is taking care of our family members. They are all human beings. But in addition to this, we have to take care of Supreme Lord who is above us. The system of serving the Supreme Lord is an arrangement of the universal God. Through this service in the system, we move upwards and keep serving the Lord. So anena prasa visadyam, anena prasa visyadvam. That means by this more and more prosperous. Krishna says that for your desires to be fulfilled, we need to do yajna. When we do yajna, our desires are fulfilled. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada dwells on the purpose of creation and how Lord Vishnu is the ultimate goal of creation. So this is the main thing. So if you see, all living entities within the material creation are conditioned by material nature because of the forgetfulness of relationship to Vishnu and Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Vedic principles are to help us understand this eternal religion as it is stated in Bhagavad Gita. Vedaischa sarve ahameva vedya. So this is the most important thing that we need to understand. So here, if you see this shloka in Srimad Bhagavatam, let us look at that. It's also very Suryapatir, Yagnapatir, Prajapatir, Diyampatir, Lokapatir, Dharapati. Patir Gatis Vrishni Satvatam, Prasidatam May Bhagavan Satam Pati. So, may Lord Shri Krishna, who is worshipable Lord of all devotees, the protector and glory of all kings like Andaka, Vishni, and Yadudanajati. Patir Gatis Cha Andaka, Vishni, Satvatam. Satvata means the protector, the Lord of all devotees, Lord of all devotees, and therefore leader of all living entities. So he is Shriyapati. Shriyapati is owner of goddess of fortune. So goddess of all, director of all sacrifices, which is Yagnapati. Then controller of intelligence, which is Diyampati. Then Prajapati means leader of all living entities. So proprietor of all planets, which is Lokapati. Then Dharapati means controller of earth. So he is supreme Lord in many ways. So he is Lord of many things. So here, um, so Pati and Pati means somebody who is master, husband, or Lord. And how is this connected with shloka number 3.10? So 3.10 is talking about Yagnapati and Prajapati. So he is a Yagnapati and he is also Prajapati. So that is how this is connected with the shloka which is quoted here by Srila Prabhupada. Now, Shukadeva Goswami, in this prayer, he is praying to the Lord as the Lord of Andhaka, Vishnu, and Sri Krishna to be merciful upon him. So he wants them to be merciful upon him. So Srila Prabhupada is quoting this verse that by mercy of Krishna, we can become Krishna conscious. By mercy of Krishna, when we are practicing the Sankirtana Yajna and Kali Yuga, we become free from all contamination. So Srila Prabhupada is also quoting one important verse here, which is 11.532. Let's look at that. Krishnavarna Tvishakashtam Samgopangastra Parshadam Yagne Sankirtana Praya Yajantihi Sumedasha. So the meaning of this verse, Krishnavarnam. So he is in category of Krishna. Tvisha means luster. So he is in category of Krishna. Tvisha means is luster is Akrishna. Akrishna means it is not black. Sa anga, sa anga, upanga, astra. So it is so anga. means is limb, which is associates, and Upanga is sublimbs, and which is usually servitors. They are acting as astra. They are acting as weapons. Parshadam means is confidential companions. So, so these are what does they do? So Krishna is coming, but not in a blackish form, and he comes with his associate servitors who act as weapons, along with the confidential companion. And what they do Sankirtana Praya. They do Sankirtana Yagna. And when they do Sankirtana Yagna, so uh, which is liked even by intelligent people, which is liked by the intelligent major. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna himself, comes down and gives us this Sankirtanaga. When we follow his instruction of Sankirtana Yagna, we fulfill the requirements of Yagna. The key point here is that we perform Sankirtana Yagna, our needs will be fulfilled. Yagna is the practice by which we harmonize with the Supreme Lord. Yagna is the means by which our material and spiritual needs are fulfilled. We can discuss this in the subsequent verse. The main point is here is that Krishna is the Prajapati, Krishna is the Yagnapati. We need to satisfy him for the fulfillment of our material and spiritual needs. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna himself, has come out and has given us this weapon of Sankirtan Yagna to fulfill all our desires and escape from the. Our desire is to serve Krishna. So we need to understand this very carefully. It is not material desire, but desire to serve Krishna. When we do this, we can escape from this material world. So that is how we understand this entire shloka. And let us look at this shloka number 9.14 in Bhagavad Gita. Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha dradavata namasyanantascha mam bhaktya nitya yukta upasate. Always chanting my glories, enduring with great determination, bowing down before me. These great souls perpetually worship me with great devotion. So what does great devotees do? They always chant the glories of the Lord. So this is what we need to do. It is not that only in Kali Yuga we chant the glories of the Holy Name. Even anytime we find every yuga, this is one of the important means of serving the Lord. Okay, let us now go to the shloka number 3.11. Devan bhavayatanena te deva bhavayantu va parasparam bhavayantaha shreya param vapyasantaha. So, the demigods being pleased by sacrifices, Devan Bhava Ya Tanena. Bhavayata Anena. So, by this sacrifice, demigods are pleased. Te Deva Bhavayantuva. Te, those devatas, Bhavayantu will please us, please the human beings. Parasparam. So, there is a mutual give and take. Shreya Param Avapyasada. By doing this, benedictions are bestowed of, good benedictions are achieved by the people. The demigods being pleased by sacrifices will please you, and thus by cooperation between men and demigods, prosperity will be. So, Shreya Param Avapyasada. Prosperity will be reigned here. So, Anena is referred in the previous verse also. So, if you see the previous verse, Sahayagna Prajashishta Purovacha Prajapati. Anena means by this. So by this means what? It is Yagna. By this arrangement of Yagna. So if you see here, Te Devan Bhavayantava Parasparam. So Anena Bhavayanta by this sacrifice. So this means the Yagna performance. So Devatas will be satisfied by the Yagna and having been pleased These devatas will satisfy us. This mutual pleasing each other is part of cosmic governance and cosmic harmony. By doing this, we will achieve supreme auspiciousness. So, prosperity will reign. Srila Prabhupada is translating it as prosperity will reign. So, so this is very, very important for us. So let us try to understand this by the current worldview. Today's scientists are like priests of society. They decide what is acceptable and what is unacceptable. So some scientists claim that there is no God. So current world scenario distinguishes religion from science. Science portray that there is a conflict between science and religion. However, this is not the fact. There is eternally a conflict between spirituality and materialism, or spiritualism and materialism. So science is basically a tool. It is a map. When we look at the map, we understand various things. Various things like geographical features, frontiers of different countries, geographical location of different places, etc. So the map is a dumb tool. It is a neutral thing. It does not tell us what is good or what is bad. Same way, science is also it's a dumb thing. It is a neutral thing. It is a way of looking at the world. Unfortunately, science is now captured and monopolized by atheists. So it is not the scientific view, it is an atheistic view. There is this eternal conflict between materialism and spiritualism is existing for from time immemorial. So, for our understanding, let us equate materialism. Let us, at this point of time, equate materialism to atheism. So, wrong understanding or misuse of science drag materialism to atheism. So, according to atheism, matter is the highest reality. Hence, there is a place for God. This is atheism. Okay. So, according to them, matter is highest reality. Hence, there is no place for God. So, this is in atheism. When atheism or atheists hijack science, they say if we are scientific, we cannot believe in God. And you cannot believe in soul. You cannot, no, if you are scientific, you cannot believe in scriptures, and uh, and they do not believe in what scriptures talk about. This type of hijacking and monopolizing by atheists is not valid. So they are attacking everything that theism or spiritualism talks about. So when we see Srila Prabhupada is sometimes against scientists. So science is something we should use to glorify the Lord. So science being when it is hijacked by atheists is working against spiritualism. So that is why scientists, Srila Prabhupada, so, no, was against the scientist. So if we ask a question, are all scientists atheists? No. Some of the scientists are in the field of science or engineering only for sake of earning. Their main aim is to provide comfort to the people through their innovations and new products. These are the people who are not against theism or spiritualism. However, there are scientists who are fanatically and aggressively against theism or spiritualism. They are atheist. So it is not the science view, but it is the view of the atheist through the map of science. They think that religion is the greatest evil in the society. They have the notion that the concept of God corrupts people's mind. They are in a campaign against God. These are the right wing atheist people. They are in minority. They do people, no, they do proper propaganda to convert people to atheism. So apart from this, people Apart from these people like atheists, science is a tool like map to look at the world. So these people have corrupted the way in which the science has to be used. So based on the pre-existing bias of the people, they perceive the world accordingly. So when I see the world as Krishna's creation, I become more Krishna conscious. But when I see the world is a place of enjoyment and there is no place for God, then I become atheist. So this is a preconceived bias or pre-existing bias. So there are many evidence. If you see scientifically, there are many evidence of the soul and reincarnation. If science as a tool studies these evidences, then science can be used as a proper evidence for moving towards spirituality. So instead of working using science to move towards spirituality, we are using it to condemn Supreme Personality of God. So currently, science is used only for studying materialism, but science can be used to study and promote spiritual principles. We have many empirical proofs of past life memories, near death experience, phenomena of consciousness, etc. All this indicate the existence of soul, and soul is as something which is different from body. Soul moves from one body to other, so this also proves that there is existence of soul. These are the things which are not unscientific. This is talked about in science, and there are proper scientific evidence about this. So, if we have to so this is one part of the atheistic view and the atheistic view and theistic view. So science is a neutral. So if we have to conclude this, we have to see science is a neutral tool. Atheists who were some of the atheists were scientists and they have misused this tool to spread a propaganda against theism and spiritualism. Now, next important point that we need to understand with respect to this shloka is the concept of demigods. Now we have to check whether this concept is scientifically acceptable. So the concept of God is the first concept of God is it scientifically acceptable, and then we need to see whether the concept of demigod is scientifically acceptable. So here the scientists, when we consider them as a atheist, there is no when we consider the science as a tool, proper tool, then we can easily accept the concept of God. So one has to give a science or scientific understanding which is driven by atheists. So that is first thing that we need to know to understand the concept of demigods and God and supreme personality of God. Science is just a tool, and um, when when we use it as a tool, we understand that it neither proves or disproves existence of God, but we need to infer from the observations. So when we use the science as a tool, it is not having any bias, but it can be used as a basis for inferring the observations. So we observe the intricacies in the design of the universe, and we see that from a small tree, a small seed tree grows. So how can this happen? So there is a cause and effect. When we understand the scientifically the cause and effect, how a seed can grow into such a huge tree, then we will appreciate what is called as intelligent design of system and processes, which are related with the what is called as the intelligent design. So we see that when we use the scientific basis for making inference from our observation, we get closer to Supreme Personality of God. So Krishna in the next slokas will be talking about rain. So rain is a natural phenomenon. Rain is a natural phenomenon. So now, if we analyze it scientifically, so now we are going to associate a cause and effect with respect to this. So it is an intricate process which is through what is called as water cycle. So at its core, this cycle begins with sun's heat, which causes water to evaporate from various surfaces, transforming water into a vapor. And this vapor rises, it cools and condenses to form clouds. When these clouds gather enough moisture and humidity, they release their accumulated water in the form of precipitation. So, replicating such a sophisticated process in a laboratory setting presents significant challenges due to complex interaction between temperature, humidity, and atmospheric conditions. So, scientists often marvel at this water cycle, recognizing it to be a remarkable example of nature's ability to recycle and distribute water across our planets. However, the complexity of the water cycle proves that there is an intelligent design behind it. If we ask why, then we come to the at one point we come to the governance of the Supreme Personality of God. And if there is a governance, then there must be somebody who has made this governance. So we end up with Supreme Personality of God. So this seamless coordination of evaporation, condensation, precipitation indicates a purposeful architect, an intelligent being who, who orchestrates this intricate system. This intelligent designer is Supreme Personality of God. So, emphasizing the profound connection between the natural world and an higher power, there is a um, there is a need to understand the intelligent designer, and this intelligent designer is Supreme Personality of God. Now, in India, there are many cases of creating artificial rains. It is not only in India, even globally, there are many experiments done to improve to artificially create rainfall. Actually, it is not artificial rainfall. It is something called as cloud seeding. There was one in 2011, December. So this was a Maharashtra government's initiative to create artificial rain through cloud seeding, and this attracted significant attention among the people who were propagating about or were giving a propaganda about water scarcity in Maharashtra. The term artificial rain is actually misleading. It refers to stimulating precipitation from naturally formed clouds using a chemical called as silver iodide. So, so it is not artificial rain, but it is cloud seeding. So cloud seeding requires suitable clouds which may produce rain naturally without intervention, often on drought-stricken areas. Now, often the drought-stricken areas do not have any clouds. So it is not possible to do a cloud seeding without cloud. And in drought areas, when there is no cloud, how we will do the cloud seeding? It is not possible. And then the fourth important point is unpredictable wind patterns limit our control over the clouds and ends the rainfall. So this results in minimal results from the cloud seeding effort. So our idea is to reach water in a drought areas. So fundamentally there is no cloud. Even if the cloud is there, it is very difficult to manipulate its movement towards the drought area. So, so there actually, the Maharashtra government spent huge amount of money, close to 5.6 crores in what is called as Project Varsha, but it was no, it was not effective. So, so historically, it shows that human intervention in natural process often leads to negative consequences. So desire to elevate drought is valid, but forcibly extracting rain can disrupt nature's delicate balance. So what happens is sometimes the condensation is so huge there is flood. Actually, there was one like this in UK and Ireland. They tried doing some cloud seeding effort, which resulted in severe floods. So Vedic science. So if you see Vedic science, it posits a conscious intelligence behind every natural phenomenon, advocating, and hence we need to cooperate with nature rather than coerce the nature. So this cloud seeding and artificial rain is like forcing nature to do something, whereas Vedic science posits it gives us a opportunity to understand the intelligence behind the natural phenomena and then work in cooperation with that natural phenomena. So the chanting of specific mantras, that is Hare Krishna mantra, is the best method to harmonize with these cosmic forces and potentially influence the rainfall. So, so this is so it is this artificial rain are only imaginary gains, but it is real pain for people who are eager to get rain, but they got disappointed. So, to summarize, the scientists are only trying to manipulate the cloud to pour rain. They have not created any artificial cloud, and they could hardly control the place where clouds will rain. And there is also no control on the quantity of rain. So further, the amount of money that we need to spend for getting the rain is completely unviable, makes the entire project unviable. So even in rich countries like United States, they have not tried this because it's not worthy of it. So rain cannot be done, made, produced by human beings. So rain is a complex mechanism. There is a person who has designed this mechanism, and this designer is Lord Krishna. So if you look into the details of water cycle, it is a miracle technology. How a cloud is produced, how cloud is acting as a um, airborne water tank, and even if there is an aircraft cutting across the cloud, nothing happens to it. So this is a miracle, and we see that this mechanism is amazing because it is transporting huge quantity of water from one place to another without any leakage. And whenever there is a right combination of humidity, temperature, and vapor pressure, it just pours water. So we say that this is automatically happening. Right? Actually, it is not automatically happening. So what does this automatic mean? Automatic means not the absence of control. So, but it is the absence of awareness of the control. We do not see somebody operating it. This we can see when we are using the computer. When we type on the keyboard, automatically when we use a spreadsheet or a document software, when we type on the keyboard, things appear on the screen. So how does it appear on the screen? So somebody has made a program and organized things so that when you type it, it comes on the screen. So the controller who has done that, a person who has designed the system, is not there. So his absence that we do not know such a person is very, very important. That makes things very amazing. Krishna has set a system by which we are not aware that such a person is existing. This is automatic. So in nature, many things are happening automatically. This automatic is nothing but absence of awareness of supreme control. So Supreme Lord enacts all these things either sometimes by himself or sometimes by his agents like Devtas and demigods. So we need to summarize now that the spiritual explanation and scientific explanation should complement one another. So when we do a root cause and a cause and effect assessment, we see that there is always a intelligent design, intelligent mechanism, or intelligent process. And whenever we see this, we need to understand it cannot come just on its own. There must be a designer behind all this. So, a scientific um, assessment results in what is called as a good understanding of spiritual truths. So, when we complement spirituality with science, then we can understand things better. And this understanding is something which we need to teach to people so that all of them become Krishna consciousness, Krishna conscious. So, now we need to understand one more thing. Every principle, everything that happens in the nature has two aspects. One is a person aspect. For example, if you take rain, there is a person who is in charge of this rain, who is Indra, and there is a mechanism by which the rainfall happens. So when we look into the spiritual part of it, Vedas explain much about Indra. If you see the entire of Karma Kanda, there is a lot of areas where Indra is described, and he is described as somebody who controls rain and is given much importance when you want rain in a particular place. So there is also a mechanism. How is this mechanism? Mechanism is the physical or the physical changes that happens which we can perceive through our senses. So Indra we cannot see, but there is a mechanism by which waterfall happens. The spiritual science or Vedas talk about the person Indra, who is a man behind causing the rain, whereas the science talk about the mechanism. So when we want something from the nature, we can get it in two ways. One way is by asking the controller in the nature by supplicating to him, by seeking or by praying to him. This is through spiritual understanding. So that means that there are controllers available for the different aspects of the nature. So scriptures, provide means by which we can satisfy them and get the results. The other way is manipulating the nature. This focuses on the mechanism of the nature. There is a focus. So this is so there is a focus on controller and there is a focus on mechanism. So this could be if we take, for example, in India, we have electricity board in every cities, in some cases every states, in some cases every cities. So, and there is two ways in which we can get electricity. One is by tapping illegally by using some mechanical means, tap from the already existing cables. So here we do not approach the legal authorities and get the sanction for electricity supply. So here we are not paying appropriate charges for a connection and also for the monthly expenses. So this is a illegal way. On the other hand, we can go to the the regulatory board or the government office and pay a tax or a money and then get a connection, legal connection, and every month based on the usage we pay a tariff. So The first way is a manipulation, whereas the second way is the right way, which is getting approval from the department. So that is like understanding the principle and working in consonance with the principle or consonance with the government. Thus, the first process is manipulative, the second process is supplicative. So the controller and the mechanism are complementing one another. Once we approach the controller, he will set the mechanism so that we get uninterrupted supply of electricity. So this is fundamental, and this is something which is fact, whether we believe it or not. We are dependent on nature, which is controlled by higher beings. So how do we know this? Is there an empirical proof for this? The key point is not empirical verification, but spiritual transformation. So uh, for us to understand how Indra can create, how there is a person for rain, we need to understand this in the form of a devotee. So devotees can say that when we do Sankirtan, we did Sankirtan when we brought the rain. So this is a very, very mechanical understanding of getting rain. But actual thing is, the devotional understanding is that when we do Sankirtan, we give pleasure to Krishna. This purifies us. And when Lord is happy by our purification, He fulfills our desire and our work towards uh, in getting more devotion to Krishna. Thus, Lord provides all necessary to us to engage in His service and thereby increase our devotion to Him. Thus, we need to understand that we need to harmonize with the cosmic governance, and yajna is one of the means of it. So we already discussed that principle of yajna is sacrifice. So when we do Sankirtan yajna, we sacrifice for the satisfaction of Supreme Personality of God. So this is something that we need to understand. There are some more points to discuss on this shloka. We will discuss that in our next class on this session. So I'll stop here now. Any questions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Um,
Hare Krishna.
in the, I mean, I had this question for a long time, and I keep going sort of back and forth on it. That here, when Krishna
Okay,
says,
bro.
you can hear me, right?
Yeah, bro, I'm able to hear you.
Yes. So when Krishna says that, Yajna was created so that all the demigods and the humans can live peacefully together by doing the sacrifice and everything. So then, in our context, because we say that, when even in Bhagavatam it said that Krishna is like the root and we don't have to worship any demigods. But then, at least in Indian families, it's the sort of a tradition that we worship like a million demigods, and that cycle keeps going on. And I've tried to sort of also, talk to my family and stuff, but they are not really convinced to sort of just worship Krishna and stuff. So how do we, first of all, how do we handle such situations at home? And secondly, um, is there any way to sort of preach to the family to sort of change?
Easiest, say for example, first thing that we need to understand is that this satisfying of demigods is karma kanda. So we need to know the sequence here. So Krishna, in the first section of Karma Yoga, that is chapter 3, talked about the need for practicing Karma Yoga. So Arjuna is good at practicing Jnana Yoga, but he should still do actions, which means practice work. Swadharma, he has to do is Swadharma. Now, so Swadharma means there are two aspects, spiritual aspect as well as the material aspect. So material aspect is to take care of the body, and spiritual aspect is to take care of the soul. So this is something that we need to understand. Now, in case of devotee in current scenario, our Swadharma is to maintain a family of ourselves and guide them to become Krishna conscious. So this is the important Swadharma of a devotee husband. Now, in case we are not able to, when we are not able to do that, then we need to purify ourselves. So we should not disturb others. Say everybody, say your father has brought you into this world and he has helped you to be whatever you are now. So that is a rin or a you need to debt. It's a debt. You need to fulfill this debt. So now you should take care of your father. If even if he is against, please listen and listen to him, and then do your Krishna conscious activity. You tell that this is what satisfies me. You need not have to convince them because they are elder to you and they have seen you in different stages of your life, so they may not agree to you. So but that is not your problem. Your problem is to get out of the material world without any uh, fall down. That is most important for us. And respect your parents, respect your family members, and gradually they will come. Pray to Krishna, gradually they come to you. We cannot change anyone in this world. Krishna also does not try to change anyone in the world. He only fulfills their desire. So whatever is their desire, he simply fulfills. So our goal is to take care of ourselves. No need to pressurize anyone. If you get chance to get prasadam, give them prasadam. If they are eager to invite devotees for a Sankirtan program, please engage them in that. If they are interested in coming to temple, please engage them in that. But with force, nobody can be devotee. You have to gradually move them from whatever they are to the devotee level. This is how it goes.
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you very much. But often it becomes a bit sort of a conflict when they ask me to do those ritualistic things. I
Yeah, you
always
can
kind of
always
feel
do
a
that.
bit.
You can always do that and pray to Krishna that I'm doing this for your satisfaction. So you can always do that. You can pray to Ganesha. यत्पादपल्लव युगं विनायकं द्वन्द्वे प्रणामसमये गणाधिराज विघ्नं हयन्तुमलमस्य जगत्त्रयस्य गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं tamaham bhajami. You are always holding the feet of Lord Narsimha. You are always keeping your danta on the on the lotus feet of Lord Narsimha. That is why you are Vigneshwara. You can deliver all the problems on the life of devotees. So please remove those problems from me. So you can pray to him. You can pray to Indra, Chandra, everybody you can pray to them. No problem at all. When your motive is only service to Krishna, you can pray to anyone. You can pray to your father also when you are falling down at their feet or a mother's feet. Pray to them that
Mm.
I want to become Krishna conscious. So you can do that. That's not a problem at all, bro. Everybody is helping us in becoming Krishna conscious. If you see that way, then you will not fight with anyone. And when we fight with anyone, our karma with them only tends to increase. So you should not fight with them. You should always stay with them, help them, so that they also feel, see, this Krishna consciousness has made him such a nice person. So Krishna consciousness is really good. The way we behave, we create impression about Krishna consciousness. So it is very, very important our family members understand Krishna conscious in the right way. So we should not do anything which will spoil the image of Krishna consciousness, Prabhupada's mission. So this, if we keep in mind, then you will not hurt anyone. You will not fight with anyone. You will always try to engage them in service of Krishna. So this is simple rule.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Vancha kalpatarvyascha kripa sindhu bhayevcha
Vasudevaya
paritanam pavnebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo. Grantaraj Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Jagadguru
Jai,
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Aditya Hare
Jai,
Krishna ki jai. Gaur
Jai. Hari Hari.
Hare Krishna. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.